know. I see a little bit of your face, but it's kind of blurry. We're getting ready to go live here in just a moment to the YouTube channel, the Gateway to Freedom YouTube channel. I don't know if I can live stream to Facebook as well. I don't know. See, we've got a little bit of your face, but it's kind of blurry. Is it live on the Facebook? Is it live on the YouTube? It might be. Hold on. Let me check my YouTube channel here. Gateway to Freedom YouTube channel. That's where it is, I think. Got a little bit of feedback. All right. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Kelly, did I see you out there? Where's my participant list? There we are. Kelly, what do you know? You're on mute if you're trying to talk.
Oh, gosh. Hi, Rich.
There you are. Hey, how are you doing, Kelly?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing fantastic.
Good.
It's a Sunday night, and it's a Sunday night stream night. So I'm doing excitingly well. How about you? You doing great today?
I am good. Thank you. Yes.
Good. It's good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Absolutely. What's new with you, Kelly?
Oh, gosh. What's new with me? I'm looking for a flip.
You are? Where at?
I am. And I have a buy and hold long-term rental under contract.
Woo. That's awesome.
I know. I'm scared, though.
You're scared? Why are you scared? Tell you what, hold on to that. Hold on to that. I'm going to, because we're recording and I think we're actually live on YouTube now. Let me just, because I'll go out there, maybe chop it up some other day sometime. But let me welcome everybody. Hey, welcome everybody. My name's Rich Groves. If you don't know me, I am the host of Gateway to Freedom in St. Louis. And we are doing these Gateway to Freedom meetups, which I have now a monthly meetup that we've rebranded in St. Louis to be Gateway to Freedom Meetup. And that meets every third Wednesday. So it's actually coming up this coming Wednesday for those folks who are local to St. Louis. And it looks like we have some folks coming in from the waiting room. So I apologize for making those folks wait. But the thing is, we rebranded our River City REI Roundtable to Gateway to Freedom Meetup. So that's going to meet every month on the third Wednesday of the month, 6 p.m. at the Mac Barn Grill. We are still asking everybody to go out and RSVP ahead of time at it's actually g2freemeetup.com. RSVP, just so we can get a head count on who's coming out. Make sure we got enough pizza and toasted raviolis and salad and drink tickets for everybody. But thank you for joining us, because this is the second ever Gateway to Freedom Meetup Sunday night stream. We're calling it the Sunday night stream. Just trying to get out there, give people a chance to come in on a Zoom, like back in the days of COVID when we get on Zooms together. Trying to give everybody a chance to do that, but it's easier to get together on a Zoom on a Sunday night, right? It's easier to get together on a Zoom on a Sunday night instead of at a meetup place. So thanks everybody for coming in, and we are streaming live on the YouTube channel for Gateway to Freedom, G2 Free STL. So if you know people, tell people to go out there and subscribe to that channel so they can watch these replays. But this is really what we're going to do on this meetup. These Sunday night streams is it's more laid back. It's going to have a little bit of a structure, and down the road I do have some speakers lined up, but they're not going to give a whole hour-long presentation. It might be like a 20 or 30-minute thing on, hey, here's what I do, this is what I'm, whatever, and like maybe some Q&A kind of thing for those folks. But mostly what we want to do is we want to give everybody in our community an opportunity to maybe share some wins they had over the last 2 weeks, because we're going to do this every 2 weeks, right? What kind of wins did they have over the last 2 weeks? What deals do they have? They want to pitch some deals. They're looking for deals. They're looking for something specific or whatever. We share this. Eventually, this is going to grow, and I've got connections all over the country. So hopefully, we'll get folks all over the country joining in on this Zoom. That's another exciting thing about Zooms, right? You can get people's opinions from all over the country, but it's mostly going to focus on St. Louis. That's what we do. St. Louis folks, my St. Louis peeps, and that's what we're going to do. But with that being said, I know Kelly was out here. Kelly, you still out there? Did I scare you off?
I'm here. I'm trying to hop on my computer.
Okay, yeah.
But it's fine. I'm on both at the moment, I guess.
Well, you let me know, because I wanted to give Kelly an opportunity. She had a couple things she wanted to share, some things she's looking for, and something she just did. So, or yeah, the big thing you just did that you're scared about, you say, Kelly.
Yeah, kinda. But I'm working the numbers. Okay, I'm still on the phone. So, um, anyway, yeah. So I put an offer in and it was accepted on a 2-bedroom, 1-bath home near Holly Hills.
Okay.
Um, and it's going to be a long-term rental. Um, so I'm just actually trying to play with the numbers so that it makes sense to me.
Okay.
I will admit this was like a family purchase. So like there's a family member who's going to be the renter.
Okay.
So I feel like, and this is my first property I've ever gotten under contract. So
Good for
I feel
you.
like, well, but maybe leading with my heart and not my head.
Okay.
So, but all in all, I think it will be a good investment because it's going to, it's family paying, paying towards something that is going to be held by the family. Oh, look there, I'm on both now.
Okay. Good.
So, yeah. So anyway, I'm just trying to play with the numbers and see what I can do, to make it work for me.
So, you said it's in the Hills neighborhood.
Yeah.
My brother actually has something on Kings Highway in that neighborhood. So,
Okay.
yeah, and that I mean, so it's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath. You're buying it from a family member, or is it just a family?
No, I'm buying it from a private person. I am, let's see, I'm trying to figure out how to.
Fine, you're fine. There you go. Good for you, but you're muted again. So let me ask you to unmute. Hold on, you're still muted. You're muted. I wish I can go in here and unmute.
Hi, there we go.
There you are.
Okay.
There you are. Okay.
Now you're muted to me. Hang
I'm
on.
muted.
Let me see.
Turn up your volume.
Now I can hear you. Okay.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Sorry, that took a whole
Yeah, you're
lot
good.
of time.
It's
Okay.
okay. We got an hour. No,
So,
just kidding.
so I might need it. um, so it could be a great midterm rental too.
Okay.
It's a really cute house. I had the inspection done. It is it's a solid house.
Okay.
The one thing that concerns me on the inspection was that there was evidence of termites, but nothing live.
Okay.
So there's a nice crawl space underneath. When you walk into the property, it's like a tri-level. So you walk in and it's the main living area.
Okay.
Then you go up to the bedrooms and the bathroom, like 6 steps. 6 steps and you go up to the bedrooms, bathrooms. 6 steps down is kitchen, laundry.
Okay.
Fenced in backyard, oversized 1-car garage. It's a quiet street. So yeah, I think it could ultimately be, because I'm also driven to, if this doesn't work out like as the family, 1-person rental, if the numbers aren't cash flowing for me,
Right.
I'm thinking about maybe making it a midterm for nurses, because
Okay.
that's near to my heart. So
what have you done to try to gauge the interest of midterm rentals there, or how hot the market is for midterm rentals there? I'm just curious. Or have you done anything? I'm just curious.
well, I am a nurse, so I do know that I hire a lot of agency nurses. I don't know that specific area, but I do know that they're like one of the nurses I have right now, she is in a house over like in the Concord area, like off of Tesson Ferry and like Thies and that kind of area.
Yeah.
And it's, I think, a 3-bedroom, and whoever owns that is renting it by the room.
Okay.
So I know that there's opportunity. I know that this house is close to the highway, so you would be close to like Barnes, Children's, SLU, John Cochran. There are several hospitals that wouldn't be that far.
Okay. Fantastic.
So that's one option. So I don't know. I'm just, it's my first one. I'm just nervous about it.
No, I get it. I get it. Now, so I'm just going to ask, can I ask you a few more questions about it? I'm just curious.
Sure.
And I'm only asking because this actually interests me. I actually,
Okay.
I had an opportunity. I think it just ran on too long, I had an opportunity to do a midterm rental for midterm rental arbitrage with a guy in South City for one of his 3-bedroom, 2-bath apartments. But it just kind of like went on back burner for him to get it ready. You know, the agreement was he was going to get it, get it all ready to rent, and then I was going to arbitrage it. I was going to rent it from him, and then list it as short-term rental.
Okay.
And so I went out to Furnish Finders, and then somebody brought up what you had mentioned about agencies. Like, hey, just get in touch with the agencies who are hiring the nurses and get in with them. Let them know that you got these things. So I guess the midterm thing just kind of piqued my interest as well. In that, so you mentioned that you would possibly be renting this to a family member. Is that, I guess, again, you said leading with your heart, not your head or whatever. Is that the best use for this, or is it just it's a situation that you really, really need to offer an opportunity for a family member?
I don't really need to offer for a family member right now. And the potential renter is understanding of that.
Okay.
Because I wanted to make it affordable for that person,
Sure.
but I don't think that what I wanted my thought of what that person could afford is not supported by the numbers. I'm going to either need to bring a lot more money to closing for the down payment.
Okay.
And or I don't know if you know how it works to buy down your interest rate. Right now, they're telling me my interest rate is 7%.
Okay.
So those are my options. I can, and I have money. I just don't, and it is an investment. It's, and so I'm thinking that I'm just taking money from one bucket over here in stocks and bonds and whatever, mutual funds, and moving it into another investment, which is real estate.
Right.
So I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I'm big on raising money for any of your rehabs, your purchases, whether you're keeping them as a rental for yourself or you're going to flip them. I'm big on, hey, my belief is go out and raise private money. And people might say, well,
I agree.
In your situation, like you said, well, I've got money and I could do that.
Well,
then you're tying up your money into one of your rehab projects. And then
but it's not really a rehab.
Okay, so it's turnkey.
It's pretty much turnkey.
Okay.
I mean, I could do if I were living there, I would make some changes, but really it's good to go. I mean, it's got hardwood floors, there's carpet on the stairs in the bedrooms, the bathroom is nice. The kitchen is okay. I would love a dishwasher in the kitchen. But it's large. The cabinets are okay. It's got a tile floor. So overall, it's move-in ready.
Okay.
So, I don't know, maybe I'm thinking about this wrong, but I don't know how I could raise private money to help me with like the down payment and closing costs if I'm going to buy and hold.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's a great point. I mean, especially if you are going to, and it doesn't sound, I don't know. I mean, if you're going to make any kind of rehab changes at all to kind of improve the value or try to make, polish it up, make it nicer for an appraiser or something like that. I mean, you could raise a little bit of private money for that, for your purchase, for your holding costs, for your down payment, whatever, or whatever, maybe even the whole purchase. Go ahead and make your updates and rehabs that you want, even if they're minor. And then you go to your bank and do a refinance, and then you can pay off your investors, your lenders that way. And then if it appraises for more than you need it to, you got two options, right? You can either cash out, or you could just say, hey, look, I'm going to keep that in play as equity, and just only take out what you need, right? So.
And that's a good point. And let me ask you how that works, because what I was told, and I don't know. So there was a pending sale to an actual traveling nurse whose assignment got changed and they couldn't go through with the purchase.
Gotcha.
But during that sale transaction, there was an appraisal done. And I was told that it appraised for about $20,000 more than what the list price was.
Okay.
So we'll find out. Either that appraisal, I guess, will still be valid, or
Right.
we'll get a new appraisal and I'll find out what the value is.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you a question and you said something and I forgot my train of thought.
Oh. I'm sorry.
No, it's not your fault. Oh, cash out refinance. How does that work?
Well, it depends what, I mean, I think banks have their own, individual banks have their own policies on how they do that. I found that smaller banks, like smaller hometown banks, really work with you a little better. Some other investors out there, I'm sure we have a couple on the call on the Zoom tonight that could probably share like their experiences on with different banks as well. I know I have a small town bank that I use here that I've built a relationship with that will do a cash out refinance. You know, even like I buy, refinance, get a tenant in there, I'm ready to go. They'll do a cash out refinance right there. Some banks will require a seasoning where you have to hold it for a certain amount of time. Like I've heard now they're all requiring like 12 months. But I think if you go to those small banks, they may not require that. But can I ask, first off, we got Travis Wakefield, the man, the myth, and the legend on the call tonight. As a matter of fact, although I'm trying to keep these two brands separate, you know, Travis is the co-reason there's a Hootie's House Buyers Club out there. Just letting you know, Travis and I were the ones who founded that. Travis was like, "Hey, let's start up a meetup," and we did. And then he left me holding the bag. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I give him a hard time about that all the time. But Travis has been in the industry for a while now. He's seen lots of different things, and so is Craig Schinneberger here as well. Craig, how are you doing? Travis, how are you guys doing?
I know better than to complain. It's a beautiful day, man.
It's a beautiful day. It's a cold day, but beautiful.
Indeed. Very cool. Thanks for doing this, Rich. Appreciate it, man.
Oh, man. Appreciate you.
This is great.
I had a brief text conversation with Craig earlier today. He said some really cool things. Thank you. I appreciate you, buddy. But Travis, what's up with you, buddy? How are you doing?
I am still short and still fat.
But I heard you pack an incredible right hook.
Back in the day.
Oh, no.
I just wanted.
So did you all
to
hear what Kelly was talking about? Where she was asking about cash out refinances? You guys have?
Yeah, I've done quite a few cash out refinances. I'm down here in Farmington these days. As you know, I've done a lot of real estate deals in St. Louis. I actually work in property management in St. Louis these days, but own rentals in Farmington area and as far south as Sykeston. But so we've worked with a small bank, First State Community Bank, which is based in Farmington and has a branch in Sykeston. And we also work with Belgrade State Bank. And both of those are small regional banks. And I totally agree with what you were saying. I personally have never tried to do, well, that's kind of a lie. I have talked with many nationwide, like investment lenders, but I've never tried to do a cash out refi with like US Bank or Chase or anybody like that. But I've talked with a lot of, long story shortest, I've talked with a lot of the national lenders these days that are doing the 30-year DSCRs and stuff like that. But in my case, what I found is a lot of times those things are loaded with upfront costs. And, you know, we're on 20-year AMIs. We're actually on a 10-year AMI on one of our loans. But and our rates adjust all over the place with the local banks, but I still feel like we get the most bang for our buck with the small regional local banks that know us.
Okay.
But so can I ask how it works? So you are going to cash out refinance. So what exactly is that process? What does that look like? Like, I don't know. Like, I guess, am I pulling, like, say, so the property is 155, say it appraised for 175. So there's $20,000 there. What does that look like?
I found, oh, go ahead, Travis. Yeah.
Anybody?
Oh,
yeah, Travis.
I didn't know if that was directed at me. So I think it depends on the bank, in my experience, because different banks are typically dealing with offering different, different criteria, have different underwriting criteria. For instance, First State Community Bank is very conservative in my experience on the way that they underwrite. Their loan to values are typically lower. The way that they're not typically doing appraisals, they're doing in-house valuations that they're charging you for, and their evaluations are coming in very conservative. Belgrade State Bank is typically giving us 80% loan to value, meaning if they value the house or the property at 100,000, they'll loan us 80,000. They don't have any seasoning criteria. I mean, you could have bought it yesterday, and but and it, but their rates are typically higher. Their rates adjust in my experience every 12 months. There's no cap. There's no rate cap. So it's the Wild West as far as the rates. I mean, you have no idea what you're adjusting in real time. And basically, you have no idea what your rate's going to look like next year. You're just kind of hoping and praying. But, it really just, and then some of these national lenders I've talked to, a lot of them are at 60 or 70% loan to value. But I'm sorry, I'm probably being too long winded on the loan to value.
No.
But yes, so you have the house, the property. It's been appraised for 150. It's valued at 150, whatever. You have so much amount in it. You own it free and clear, or with a private lender, or with seller financing, or whatever. And now you're going back to the bank and you're asking them, "Hey, I've got this property and I think it's worth 150, and I'd like to borrow against it. How much? What loan to value will you cash me out at?"
Yeah, because there's a lot of you can do what's just a regular refi, right? Where you buy it, whatever, and then you have it appraised and go back to the bank and say, okay, I've got a purchase price, costs, so I've got a private money lender that had this and they need this. I just need to refinance so that I can pay them off, and whatever I need to refinance the actual debt I have, and that you might get a little bit more favorable terms because you're not pulling any extra money out, right? But if you're doing like Travis said, yeah, it just depends what the bank, which bank you're working with. And yeah, like he said, the small bank, he's got what, 80%, you said they'll do an 80% loan. I'm more comfortable with like the 70-75, just because I do want to leave some equity in play, especially if I bought it right and I know I'm like at 50 or 55%. It gives me a little money back and jingle in the pocket, go back to the bank or go back to the business and all that. But it just really depends on what you're comfortable with. And like Travis said, the smaller banks that might give you more loan to value for your property and are going to probably be a little more aggressive on their terms and their rates and stuff too.
Okay. Thank you.
What's been your experience, Craig?
I haven't had the opportunity to do a refi yet.
Okay.
So I have nothing to offer on that, I'm afraid.
That's all right, man. That's all right. I didn't want to leave you out in the cold if you had something to add.
Thanks.
Yeah, no, not a problem at all. But yeah, so I guess my question to you, Kelly, is and the only thing is I want to make sure you're not you kicked it off by saying you're a little scared of the property you put under contract, and
yeah,
I don't know if it's the property or just the whole process that's got you overwhelmed or what. But I mean, if there's anything I can do to help you, calm your fears down a little bit or whatever, I'd love to help.
Okay. My fear is the cash flow.
Okay. So you're buying it. You don't. Okay.
It
so
would cash
doing the
flow a lot
midterm-
better if I did a midterm, but
Yeah.
the renter is agreeing to increase the rent. But I don't know, but I've also already put an offer in on this, so I don't want to be the person who, offers and backs out, so.
Or goes back and says, "Hey, I know I offered you 200, but what I really meant was 55." right?
Yeah. So,
Um,
you know, we'll see what
So
happens.
can I ask you where did you come up with your number to make your offer?
Honestly, the seller was not taking anything less than the list price.
Okay.
The property seemed to be a good location. It was in good shape because I was looking at properties that were less expensive but needed a lot of work. And so I thought, you know, do I pay 120 for something and put 30 to 40 into it? Or do I just get something for 150 that is a little bit nicer and move-in ready?
Gotcha.
So that's kind of where I'm at. I mean, I probably could do some improvements on it. I don't know. I don't know.
So what I've also done is kind of, and I know you're a nurse and you're in that whole, you know, you're in that profession and you know what the nurses are looking for and all that kind of stuff. I'm not. So when I was looking into the midterm stuff, I went out to, you know, like I said, I went out to Furnish Finders just to see like what was being listed around where the property was I was going to have, and
Mm-hmm.
see what levels of rehab they were, what level of decor there was,
And
it was
what area were you looking at? What area?
it was near
South
Loughborough.
City?
It was on South Grand near Loughborough.
So this is close to that,
Okay.
honestly. It's on Idaho,
Okay.
which is like kind of a few blocks from Carondelet Y.
Okay.
It's just a few blocks from like Grand and I don't know. It's Grand and Holly Hills, I think.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So it's right there.
Okay.
They are building some very large home. Like there's a large home on the corner, around the corner from this house.
Okay.
The detractor is there's a vacant home across the street. So, but, and also my concern about this one is that it's not practical for a family, really. I mean, it's like a 1 or 2 person house because of in my opinion, because the layout, you walk in and you have the little living area, which is kind of small. The plus is it has a wood burning fireplace.
Oh, okay.
But it's a small living area. And then you just walk up 2 stairs to the bedrooms and the bathroom.
Okay.
2 stairs, I lie. You walk up about 6 stairs. Then you walk downstairs, like it's just a split on the left. So there's a left split. You go up to the bedrooms, down to the kitchen. Large kitchen, but it's just not a super practical, spacious layout, you know, where everything is all on one level. So that's what makes me feel like it might be a better midterm nurse rental thing.
Okay.
So I don't know.
It makes sense. I mean, it does make sense. You know, I would just, you know, look and see what's available. Like try for, I mean, if you haven't. Have you gone to
So what
Furnished
did you see on Furnished Finder? So tell me, because that's basically the same area.
Yeah, Furnished Finders. So you go to Furnished Finders and you can see what's being listed in any given area. Like you can type in.
Okay.
You can zoom in. It's kind of like Zillow, you know, when you're looking for a house in Zillow, and you can add all these filters, and you can see. Like, matter of fact, let me tell you what. Let me see.
Well, I was just going to do it also on the other half of my screen.
If you guys don't mind us doing this, let me just real quickly share my screen. It's like I've never done this before. Nick Johnson's in the house as well. What's up, Nick? All right, can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so you know, I could log in or whatever, but they've got the list your property over here too. But even if you're just, you know, if I'm going to like St. Louis, and I apologize, it's been a few months since I've done this, but I'm going to St. Louis, move-in dates, let's say it's, you know, March. I'm just, you know, whoops, did I goof? I think I did. I goofed up. There we go. March, let's just say it was March 1st, monthly budget, whatever. I mean, you can adjust your budget, whatever, apply. And it should give you like a map. There should be a map. I thought. Maybe not. There it is. I think there's a map view, and there's a map view over here. So you can zoom in, to a specific spot, like where's 55, there's 55, Mount Pleasant, Crown Lake Park, there's Holly Hills over here.
Oh,
So, you could zoom in and see in any given spot, like, let's see, is Grand over here? I've lost Grand. I know Grand's a major road, so it's not.
there's
30.
Frondelet, there's Holly Hills.
Yeah. So like you could click, let's just say, I mean, you could narrow down like, hey, I want to, see 3-bedroom, 2-bath, whatever. So I can click on this one, and it's got that Airbnb feel, right?
Okay.
Click on it, and it's okay. There's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath right here, king bed, fence yard, whatever. And I could actually click on that, bring it up, and I can actually see, okay, how is this furnished? How is this decorated? So how is this getting? It's kind of and I apologize, but I'm going to go back to my wholesaling roots. It's kind of like when wholesalers say, hey, I've got this house for sale for 50,000. It's got an ARV of 210, but it only needs 30,000 in work. And you're like, okay, if I did that 30,000 in work, is it going to make it worth 210, or is it still only going to be worth 150? That kind of thing, right?
Okay.
So you can look and see, is yours going to be a $2,400 a month property? And you've got, here you go, you've got examples right here that this one's getting, or at least asking, $2,400 a month. And I don't mean to spend a ton of time on all this stuff, but at least you could see how it's designed and how it's decor, how it's decorated, what the vibe and the feel of the property is. And
It's nice.
Yeah, and it's got all this stuff here. So you're seeing, and I don't mean to say competition, really. I really don't mean to say competition, but it kind of is. You want to see what your competition is like out there. Okay, well, this one's $2,400 a month. Well, I was out there doing that kind of stuff, and I saw like there was one really close, like where I was. There was one for, let's say it was $2,500 a month, and one was for $2,000 a month, and it was a great difference. So like here's one that's like $1,600 right here. So if I click that, what is this? This is there's a 1-bed, 1-bath for $1,600. This is $1,750. That's a 1-bed, 1-bath. There's an 800 that's just a private room, so you're renting out by the room, right? And whatever.
Right.
But you can, and there's 2,000. Okay, what was the 2,000? Okay, this is the 2,000. It's 2-bedroom, 1-bath. So you click on that, and now you're saying, okay, the one was 2,400. This was 2,000. What's the difference between the two? And you can see that maybe this one's even done nicer, and you think that person's probably asking not enough. Whereas the other, but then again, you don't know the stats. Is this person 90% filled 12 months out of the year, or are they 50% occupied 12 months out of the year, or whatever? So it's just doing your research, seeing what's being offered at what prices. That's what I was doing when I was getting ready to get into midterm rentals. That's how I did it. Folks that have already been into midterm rentals, they may disagree with what I just said there. They may say that's not the way to do it. Which is fine. If that's not the right way to do it, I would welcome anybody who is doing it. And let me stop sharing. There we go.
I like the map thing. Thanks for showing me that.
Yeah, sure. So I'm all about sharing. Sharing is caring, Kelly.
You're right.
Do anybody else on the call have another idea of finding like midterm rentals values and things like that? Travis, you got people that play around with that at all? Do you know people that do midterm rentals?
We've got an apartment building with 4 units in Farmington, 1-bed, 1-bath units that we do midterm, short-term, midterm, mainly midterm. Yeah. And like right now, 3 of them are leased out through Furnish Finder. 1 of them's leased out through Airbnb. But we typically don't accept short term, like anything less than like a month, even if it's from Airbnb, unless it's an extravagant price where somebody, but we've never done like a short term or midterm on a house. We kind of fell into doing midterm on those apartment units by necessity because we got so deep into them, and the interest rates ate us alive. That, but they do pretty well. They're work intensive. We're their maintenance. people are paying premium prices for those, so their expectations are, their expectations are high, logically. But I think that, like a lot of things, there are definitely influencers or people who, and I am not saying anybody should not do midterm stuff, but it's definitely not as hands off. I guess this is the shortest, most appropriate way to say our midterm stuff is definitely much more hands on than any of our traditional rentals are.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because even if you have a 30-day rental, right? That means you're doing something every 30 days.
Yeah, and like the everything's new over there. There we have mini splits, the brand new mini splits. I mean, we dumped a lot of money. They have washers and dryers in unit, so each individual unit has its own washer and dryer. But like every week, either the Wi-Fi's down or the Wi-Fi goes down, and then the quick set Halos, the batteries drain because they keep trying to connect to the Wi-Fi until their batteries go dead. Or a couple weeks back the mini split stopped working, and then while the HVAC guy was messing with the panel, he disrupted one of the electric wires that went to the hot water heater tank. So it just so I mean, and these people are paying a premium price, so they're expecting things to be back online, and again, understandably so. But the one word of advice that I've just listening, and again, nobody's asking for my opinion, but I'm offering it. Story of my life, uh, is that I would make sure it never. If it was me, I'm not telling anybody else what to do. I would be very hesitant to buy a property that was dependent upon me needing to find some extraordinary, like um, out of the box way of making it cash flow. Like our property, again, I think it would cash flow traditionally, but it wouldn't cash flow well. So we had this idea, and but I would be very hesitant to buy a property where the only way that it would cash flow is if I were to have it be a short-term or mid-term rental, meaning I would want it to cash flow if I just put somebody in it as a regular renter.
Sure. Yeah, I grew up in this business, so to speak, right? With some of my mentors saying, look, have multiple exit strategies, especially if you're going to rent. Make sure that you have multiple exit strategies. If something doesn't cash flow anymore, can you sell it? Whatever, that kind of thing. And now that really holds true to rentals, right? Is that if you're looking to buy a rental, make sure you can buy it at a conservative rental cash flow income, whatever price. But if you have options to midterm rent or short-term rent, and you want to do that, do it. That's great. But then if regulations come into place where you see everybody's tightening up on short-term rentals, and now you can't short-term rental where you are, then are you crud out of luck because you can't short-term rental, and that was the only way to make it work, right? But I agree 100% with that you just need to make sure you have multiple exit strategies, and it's just you want to cover yourself. That's all. Nobody's beating you down, Kelly. Just want you to make sure you're covering yourself.
No, this is good advice. Thank you so much. That's why I'm on here. So I appreciate it.
Good.
The truth hurts. Haha.
Good. But you're not, we're not coming after you. That's what we're doing. We're all doing it with love. We're coming from a good point, a good place. And that's what I want my community to be about, is sharing with people, even if it's the tough love and it's the truth, but we're not coming at you to attack you.
No, and I'm learning. So I am very grateful for all of the feedback. I am.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I mean, if there's room for you to, I mean, I hate doing it too. I'm with you. I feel like when I make an offer on a property, that's my offer. And I don't go back and renegotiate my offer. But if there's a possibility for you to sit down and look and see, look, I need to make an adjustment on this and possibly make an, say, hey, would you take this? Because this just isn't going to work, and see what they say. I mean, worst I could say is no. And then you decide if you want to, are you still within your,
I am.
Okay.
I am. And that's a good thought though. Like basically like say based on like the evidence of termites,
Right.
could I offer something lower than what I did? Is that an option?
Right. Yeah. I mean,
Yes, I have to talk to my realtor.
Yeah, just go back and say, hey, look, based on the results of the inspections or whatever during our inspection period, you weren't doing this maliciously. You weren't doing this with an intent that, hey, I'm going to make an offer at what a X,
No.
knowing I'm going to come back with an offer X minus Y. Right. I just wanted to lock it up and control it, and then I'll come into my real offer later. That's not your intention. So
No.
there are people out there that is their intention.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want to be that person.
Yeah, I would just go and say, hey, look, based on some things we didn't know up front or whatever, our numbers aren't going to work unless we can get it for here. Would you consider doing that?
Okay. Thanks. That's good advice. I appreciate that.
And I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a financial planner. I'm not anything like that. So do your due diligence.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Nick Johnson, what is new with you, sir?
Well, good evening. I had a little trouble getting on, but I'm here.
All right.
The link you sent me just didn't get me going. I didn't know what I did wrong or what, but I finally made it.
Good.
And what I'm working on, I do my work through batch leads.
Okay.
And I've had trouble getting my direct mail lined up and working and everything rolling.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden I went to a couple of trainings and talked to a couple of people, and now I've got some test mail out, so I've got to see if I did it right or not. I'm waiting for the people I sent it to get my test mail.
Right.
Before I get too wild and start blasting out postcards that don't go to the right places.
You know what? You're talking about postcards or whatever. You know what I'm holding in my hand right now, Nick? I'm holding pure gold. Pure gold. You know what these are? These are returned postcards that I just got back. This is gold. You know why it's gold? And you want those. I mean, granted, yeah, you'd love to send out a whole bunch and not get any of these back, because then and people calling you and flooding you with calls, right? That's gold. But these are gold because they're returned. So that means either they walked away from the property or maybe they died. I'm not trying to say that like woohoo, nothing like that. I'm just saying, but you can follow up with these, because that just shows me people either walked away from their property or they, if you care about something, you're going to put in a forwarding address and all that kind of stuff. So if I can find them, that's gold, because they've got all the motivation in the world to sell. Oh, sorry about that, Nick. How's that? Is that better? Can I do it like this? No. All right, let me see if I can turn up my volume. Let me see here. Oh, I don't think that's going to let me adjust my volume. So pardon me. Audio settings. Maybe my microphone. My microphone volume's all the way up. Let me just adjust it. Maybe I have to adjust the. I don't want that like in my face, really. But is that any better at all? Let me try this one. How's that? Is that better at all?
That's worse.
Is that worse? Okay, that's good. Let me not use that one.
I thought you were good.
That one any better? No. Got multiple inputs here from my microphone. Noise canceling. Is that really canceling noise? Is that one okay? How's that sound? That one sound good? That one's okay? Better? Let me see what the volume is. Okay. A
little bit better.
That one's better? All right. Well, that one's all the way up. We'll use that one. This piece of crud thing. What the heck? No. Anyway.
Where's Cedric?
Let's see. What's that?
Where's Cedric?
Yeah, I know. I mean, Kelsey, right?
Kelsey.
I need Kelsey to come. Actually, it was funny. I was trying to. I'm not using StreamYard tonight for a couple of reasons. So I figured out how to StreamYard and Zoom at the same time. And I started researching it late this week. And then this guy was like, okay, download this audio mixer and do this. And I'm like, oh, geez, I don't have time for that right now. So let's just do the flat out Zoom. But supposedly there's this like online mixer I can use to get it right. But then I'm going to need Kelsey to show me how to use one of those and all that stuff. But yeah, so let me do this. So I know we're only going to do 15 minutes left, and I'm going to be very, folks, I know you know me. I'm not the greatest in time management when it comes to meeting. Like when we're meeting up with people, I get so excited. Like we're meeting, we're talking, we're doing it, time. I'm just not I'm in a whole realm that doesn't have time. So I'm outside of time and space usually in my networking sessions, but I am going to hold fast the best I can to be ending these calls at 8 o'clock sharp. I'm going to try the best I can to start at 7 o'clock sharp Central Time. But with that being said, I wanted to make sure that we do a few things. One, and Kelly, thank you for sharing. That was awesome. I love that. You had another win though. You said you put one under contract, and there was something else I thought you mentioned. Was there anything else? I forgot.
There was, but I don't remember either.
You kicked it off like right as we were starting. I'm like, I should not have cut you off because you were in such a flow. Awesome. But
do not be sorry. Yeah.
No, that's right. I wanted to call this the wins segment. So we'll have a segment for everybody to share their wins, and there is no such thing as a small win. Like if it was like, hey man, I made 5 cold calls a day. That's an amazing win. I had made 1 cold call today. That's an amazing win. Or I talked to 1 seller, or I got 3 offers on my property I'm selling. Whatever. There's no small wins. Anybody get any wins the last couple of weeks since the last meeting? Like
not February? A win, but I remember what it was, and I said I was looking for a flip. So
that's it.
But I do not want to monopolize, so that can sit on the back burner. I want.
That's okay. Let me ask you this real quick follow-ups. You're looking for a flip. Where?
I love South County, South County, West County. Yeah, County. Okay. Afton, Arnold, whatever.
Any specific bedroom, bathroom, or size, or anything like that?
I like 3-2. I like it in a nice area that I know is going to sell. I would like to maybe buy around 250 or 300 with maybe an ARV of 4 to 450.
Okay. Nice. Man, if I wasn't doing a flip, I'd sell you the one we just bought on Friday or Thursday.
Well, there you go. So that's what I'm looking for. So keep me in mind.
Yeah. So what about you, Travis or Craig? Nick, did you guys get any wins this week or the last couple of weeks? I'm sure you have.
My
All
win,
right, Nick, what you got?
My win is just understanding batch leads. I'm sorry, but
you understand it better now than you did 2 weeks ago.
Absolutely, I do. Yes.
Then that's a win.
And so
that's awesome.
When I was in college, they didn't have computers yet, so it's all this computer stuff takes me a minute to get comfortable with.
I think you told me your professor told you had to go out and get that specific abacus, right? It was like the scientific calculating abacus.
No, a bag of rocks.
Rocks 3,000.
Right.
Oh man, that's funny. Oh man, you remember, Nick? Remember when we first started hanging out and you started coming to meetups, and I used to tease you about your age. And do you remember who got so mad and used to get so ticked off about me teasing you about your age?
Ken.
Ken did? No, it was a lady. Don't you remember? Oh shoot!
Yeah, I remember. Those are good days when we can start those meetups again.
They were good days, man. They used to think I was being so mean to Nick because I was teasing him about his age, and I'm not. It was like, no, that was out of respect.
I didn't.
Craig, what do you got?
Badly.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I obviously didn't hurt your feelings too bad. You came back. Craig, what you got the last 2 weeks, man? What have you won?
Man, what do I want? Man, I want more experience, which I'm getting. I mean, I feel like I've been really busy. I'm
Okay.
launching my first marketing campaign. I'm going to send out about 425 letters like this coming week.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's exciting. So I'm
What are
excited
you
to see
utilizing for those?
like what kind of list.
Yeah, either what kind of list or what software, or are you using
Oh,
software?
right.
You can.
So PropStream.
Okay.
I'm paying A3 marketing letters to write the letters and
Okay.
address the envelopes, all that. They're going to send them back to me. I'll mail them from the local post office.
Okay.
So I'm excited to see what kind of feedback we get from that.
Yeah.
I talked to a husband and wife about their Southampton house that they're on the fence about whether they're going to do short-term rental or just sell it. Naturally, I'm trying to let them see that they need to sell it to me
Right.
and show them how much work it is to do a short-term rental. You know, it's
Yeah.
another job, and they're both full-time employees already. You know, so
Because they want to do that themselves right now.
that's
They
what
want
they're
short-term
thinking.
rental.
Yeah, you know, I don't think they think that anymore. But
Oh, good.
the conversation has been started. So, you know, I didn't
Okay.
close it, but we'll see. And they're
Hey.
friends anyway, so that's going.
Okay.
Had another hot lead from just networking. 85-year-old guy went into assisted living, and now the family wants to sell his house to pay for care. So that conversation has been started also. We only had like 5 minutes to meet the other day. So I got to kind of quickly take a tour of the house, see some foundation cracks that wasn't really expecting, but so I still need to underwrite that one a little more thoroughly. What else? Oh, and found out about another one today. Yeah, out in Imperial.
Man.
Couples getting divorced. Yeah, networking is everything, man. It's just, you know,
Heck yeah.
it's working for me so far. I'm not closing these deals yet, but the conversations are started, and I'm excited to at least be getting the experience talking to people.
Yeah. You can't close deals you're not having conversations about. So
Right, for sure.
conversation is a good start. That's a great start, man.
They're all no's if you're not talking, right?
Yeah, don't downplay that. You know, don't you also obviously, 10 months from now, don't be like having that same thing. Like I haven't closed it, but we're talking and haven't, whatever, right? You're gonna have some closes. I know you are. But yeah, there's a difference. That's the difference. Is that at least
Oh yeah, and the one that I've got, sorry, and the one that I've got listed, the last of the three that I got at the end of the year, the Carondelet house. It's been under contract. It was supposed to close on the 3rd. They had funding issues. We extended it, and they just asked for another 10-day extension.
Okay.
Didn't want to do it, but we're this close. We'll see if it happens this time. If not, great. And with those funds, that'll for sure put me in a spot where I can make a nice cash offer on any one of these houses.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah,
good,
super
man.
exciting times. Drinking from the
It
fire
is.
hose, man.
Yeah, I mean it is. I mean it can be overwhelming, but you know what? Just step back and take it all in and just adjust on the fly as you need to.
Doing the best I can. Yep.
That's good for you, man. That's awesome. Good for you.
And again, thanks for doing this, man. This is awesome.
Oh, yeah, no problem. This is this is my passion. You should know that. Talking, not that I'm kind of shy. You guys probably know that. I'm kind of shy, so I don't like these things. No, but Travis, tell me, man. Tell me what you've been doing the last at least 2 weeks, if not the last month or 2 or 3.
Yeah, man. I started a new day job with my buddy Peter McKercher over at Mogul Property Management. Peter has Mogul Realty, Mogul Property Management, and I can't remember the name of his construction company. But me and Peter have been buddies for almost as long as I've known you. That's how old we're
Bigger
getting.
pockets?
But yeah,
Is that where you
and
saw it?
so and that's one great. Craig was just talking about networking, and I agree because I've kept I'm down in Farmington and have been since COVID, basically 2021, buying down here and spending a lot more time down here and a lot less time in St. Louis. But I was able to just kind of snap back into St. Louis because of the network that I've continued to keep and the networking that I do. and I'm really excited about that. Working over there with the people at Mogul,
Yeah.
um, and but still getting ready to close on another house. Another. I don't think we're going to rent it. I think we're going to probably hotel it. But
Okay.
closing next week over at Freedom on another little 2-bed, 1-bath house down in Park Hills, and
Okay.
we're picking that one up for. I feel bad almost even saying this, but when the lady called me, she originally wanted like 125,000,
Yeah.
and we're buying it for 33,000.
Dude,
But
I get it.
she that's a real price. She just
Yeah.
you know she you know she didn't know. She was just kind of shooting in the dark. But I think that we'll probably spend 5 or 10 grand on that one and list it for 90 grand.
Okay.
So, you know, um, down in this area, we have the USDA loans,
Okay.
which are 100% financing, um, and so typically you end up crediting back these buyers, 5 or 10 grand to cover their closing expenses, their whatever expenses. But it's a nice little. You can pick them up, for a decent price. And I mean, if you got a house that you can sell, my opinion is if you got a house that you can list for just under 100,000, and it's going to pass the the appraisal, the appraisal process, and
Right.
the for FHA or USDA or VA or whatever, those people don't have a ton of leverage on you because you're offering, and then I want to make sure I'm being clear. The house is going to pass occupancy. It's going to pass the all the, but when you're dealing with somebody maybe in a 250,000 or whatever, those people may come back after their inspection and say, I want the deck rebuilt. I want the driveway busted up and repoured. I want, whatever. As when you're dealing with somebody who's using USDA financing and they're getting a house that's going to be their home for the next 30 years and they're getting it for $95,000
Yeah.
and it's passing occupancy and it's clearing financing, they're not coming back asking for a whole lot. So
Right. Right.
it's a win.
No, it is. It is. That's great, man. It's freaking awesome, dude. That's awesome. All I got is I saw 4 properties today. Gonna figure out what I'm gonna offer them. Saw a 3 package. I'm also doing and near inspect. I've got an inspection later this week for one of them. That if you know anybody, and again, I'm gonna wrap it up with this. And if you know anybody who's interested in placing smaller amounts of money, like hey, I don't have 200 grand to put in, I don't have 100 grand to put in. I'm actually doing turnkey rental flips in Cahokia to a California buyer that wants to buy a ton of them this year. So I'm buying them, rehabbing, and getting a tenant in place. I could typically be in all, depending on the size and whatever, all in for 65 or less. So I'm, putting individual investors come with me with their 65 or less. We put it in play, buy, rehab, get it rented, and then list it to sell and give them double-digit returns on their money. Typically right now I'm offering 12% return. So if you know people that that are interested in putting their money in play in small chunks like that, let me know, because I could definitely put a bunch of people their money to work and give them double-digit returns. And I'm hoping to get a bunch of those done this year. So love to have anybody. You guys know I do pay finder's fees too. So yeah. If you
What
want to
is
talk
the
offline,
buy-in? How much to buy in?
it's like 65 or less, depending on the
Okay.
property. It's like
And
once I
for
get
how long?
we write all our notes for 12 months, but we're hoping to be all done closing 5 months or less.
Okay.
Maybe 6 months, depending on how detailed the rehab is. But yeah. and we pay 12% annualized. So if you're interested, reach out to me. We could talk. We could jump on a Zoom and kind of go into more of the details of everything. But yeah, well, it's 7:59. Anybody have one last thing they want to add or say? Yeah, what's up, Travis?
Hey, I just wanted to also thank you for. I know that you're a busy guy. You've been, as you know, you've always been uh, a ball of energy. So I appreciate that you send this invite out, and that I was on your email list, and I saw that, and I thought, man, that's perfect timing. So thank you for putting this on and adding me on there. And I'm hoping they're calling for 12 to 15 inches of snow possibly down in Farmington. But if it miraculously misses us, I'm really excited to get to I haven't been to the Mac since February of I think it was February of last year when Jimmy Breland was talking.
Oh yeah,
So, so I'm excited to see you in person again and make more new friends, and I hope to see all you guys and soak up all of your wisdom and put that in my pocket.
Yeah, if you don't make it this month, next month we'll have Kathy Gerhardt talking about the St. Louis property walks and how to properly. I mean, you know how to properly walk a property and stuff like that. So we're gonna be talking about that. And then if you can't make it to that one in April, we've got Megan Greathouse speaking as well. So we got some good speakers lining up.
Where are the speakers?
Where's the speaker? Like the list?
No, where are they speaking? Megan and Kathy, because I know and love them.
Yeah, at the Gateway to Freedom Meetup. So it's this coming Wednesday. If you go to, let me drop it in the chat here real quick.
Is this the Hooter thing or no?
No, but it's different than Hooters.
How many meetups do you have, Rich?
31 some months, 30. No,
I can't keep it all straight.
I know. That's why I'm trying to consolidate the naming, right? So go to G, the number 2 free meetup.com. So you got g2free.com is for the conference. This is g2freemeetup.com. And you'll see the speaker info and RSVP. The RSVP just helps keep me out of the doghouse so my wife doesn't say, hey, these people are showing up and they didn't RSVP. Because we try to gauge, how many pizzas we're going to need to buy and how many toasted ravioli, all that stuff, right? Based on who's. So it's g2freemeetup.com.
I believe I'm there.
It used to be Gateway to Freedom. I mean, it used to be River City REI Roundtable.
Gotcha.
Now it's Gateway to Freedom Meetup. This month's going to be talking about taxes. Donald
At
Shaver's
the Mac Bar and Grill. Okay.
Yep, the Mac Bar and Grill. That's on Mackland Avenue. And
so is this one every Wednesday or
no? It's
certain Wednesdays?
The third Wednesday of every month. Yeah.
Okay.
Third Wednesday of every month.
All right, so it doesn't interfere with my STL Wire ladies meetup with those two ladies.
That's why we moved it, Kelly.
Okay.
We used to have our River City REI Roundtable used to be the second Wednesday of every month, but I decided, you know what?
STL Wire.
I'm gonna back up because I love Kathy and
I appreciate
Megan
you
and the whole groups.
They're amazing.
Gals. I want more of them to maybe at least have the opportunity to come to our meetup. So,
I love them. Yeah. That's awesome.
Great folks. Yeah.
Thank you.
And that whole, the whole group of gals that run that thing and all the gals that go to that. I mean, you gals, slipping.
Whatever, guys, gals.
You're getting at it. You're making things happen. And we'd love to have you be a part of our Gateway to Freedom Meetup community as well. So if you can make it and get some of your gals to come to these, that'd be awesome too.
Cool. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thanks everybody. I know now I'm 8:03. Geez, right after I said I am really dedicated to getting off at 8 o'clock. I just keep on talking, don't I? I'm sorry.
Well, thank you, Rich. I appreciate you putting these on too.
You're good, buddy. You're good. I love doing this. Thanks for jumping on. Thanks for jumping on. I don't know what I would have done if nobody would have been here and I'd have just been talking to myself. So thanks everybody. Appreciate you and see you in 2 weeks, on here. And hopefully I'll see you around before this. Take care, everybody.
Cool. Thanks, Rich. See you guys.
Take care. See you all.
Thanks. Bye.